Okay, so today we're going to do something a little different. Today we're going to go do story time. I've never done story time. Something I've wanted to do, but today something came to my attention, and you know what? I said, you know what? I'm going to do story time today. So pretty cool scenario that happened today. So since I do have an interesting story that just came back in from the past. Let's go into a cool story time story from the past. It's actually pretty good, pretty interesting. And now that it's back in my memory and brought back some memories, hey, let's do some story time. All right, this is new for me, so be patient and let's see if you like my story time. Okay, so this is the situation. I went scouting recently, which I always go scouting. I love going to different areas and you know, talking to fishermen and checking out the area, see what's biting, see what's going on. Scouting's always a good idea, so especially if it's a place you don't know, go scouting. Check out the place, see what's biting, see what you can do, talk to the fishermen, and you know, you'll be prepared. Being prepared, really good. So scouting's really good. So on this scouting trip, somebody recognized me. It was pretty cool scenario, which, you know, that's always pretty cool. And he came up to me and said, "Hey, you go fishing at Los Vaqueros a lot, right?" I said, "Yeah, I really love fishing there." And then he goes, "You know, I've seen some of your YouTube videos, and you look really familiar. And I've been wanting to ask you a question, and you know, I ran into you. Were you the one who caught Walter?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you remember that?" He was, "Yeah, I remember that because I was after Walter." Holy moly. Really cool story. Okay, so this guy remembers that I caught Walter. That really is a long time ago. That's 15 years ago, at least. So we're looking at 15 years. That's a long time. This guy remembers, which is cool. He remembers. So in the conversation, you know, we start talking, and then he goes, "You know, how did you catch Walter? Because I was after Walter for a long time, and many other people were after Walter, and I know this period of Walter lasted, you know, more than 6 weeks, and everybody was after Walter, and it was crazy." And you know what? Before I go into how I caught Walter, let me explain a little bit about Walter, because you'll understand the story better. So Walter became a legendary fish of Los Vaqueros. I know for sure for a 6-week period, I don't know how much longer than that, but for a 6-week period, a lot of people were after Walter. Now, I don't know who gave this huge fish the name Walter, but at some point in time, someone gave him the name Walter, and lots of people knew the name Walter. Either hundreds or even thousands of people knew Walter during this period of time. That I know of for sure, 6 weeks, I was looking for Walter. Many people were looking for Walter. Everybody wanted to catch this legendary fish. Now, this fish became a legend because it liked to swim on top of the water. So everybody would see it, right? You know, you see this huge, thick rainbow trout on top of the water, it's going to catch your attention. I mean, it was incredible to see, especially when the sun is hitting it. You see this huge, thick rainbow trout, and you know, what does everybody do? Start throwing lures at it, right? Everybody wants to catch it. Huge trout. You're like, holy mackerel, look at the size of that trout. So everybody wants to catch it. So of course, you know, during 6 weeks, this fish was spotted swimming on top of the water. Everybody's seeing, everybody's getting excited. You know, I don't know who named him Walter. Hey, maybe somebody on this video will respond, "I'm the one who named him Walter." So maybe that'll come up. But this fish was a legend for at least 6 weeks that I know of. and I fished for that fish for at least 6 weeks. So I was after it for at least 6 weeks. So that's Walter. He became a legend. Lots of people saw him, hundreds, thousands, I don't know, but you know, that it's a legendary fish, and I know it was because I was there and I was looking for him, and well, let me tell you another thing. I was after this fish for so long, 6 weeks, because I was so I lost my job, right? Okay, so I got canned looking for Walter. Put it that way. I had a pretty good job too, but you know what? You get addicted. You see something, and you want to catch it, and it's just, my gosh, you know. I was going down there about 3 times a week, so I would have to call into work, right? Hey, I gotta do this. Hey, I gotta do that. I gotta do this. You know, hey, I finally got the can. I over surpassed, you know, what do you call it, your sick days or your off days, and I surpassed them, and you know, hey, we're afraid to let you go, but I didn't care. I became so obsessed, and I can imagine other people that became obsessed, you know, because you want to catch a big fish. Like on my videos that I would say, hey, let's catch a big fish. Yeah, you want to catch a big fish, right? Let's catch a big. It's true. You know, every fisherman wants to catch a big fish. I don't care. You're a fisherman, you want to catch a big fish. You get excited when you see a big fish. You get excited when you got a big fish on the line. It's freaking amazing. So, you know a little bit about Walter now. Big trout, used to like to swim on the top. Man, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, you know, making this video is pretty cool because somebody's going to remember Walter and someone's going to go, hey, I remember Walter. Okay, so, and we're going back about 15 years. Okay, so let's go into catching Walter. So the conversation with this guy, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it goes, you know, wow, yeah, wow, holy moly, yes, wow. You know, we talked, I don't know, half an hour. So it brought back a lot of memories, you know, and that's why I decided to do a little story time, a little video. I thought it would be kind of cool. Okay, so figuring out how to catch Walter. Walter probably seen every lure you can imagine. You see Walter, everybody's throwing lures at him, right? You see this huge trout, everybody's throwing stuff at him. A lot of people scare him off by throwing something, some don't, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's swimming on top. Okay, I think Walter saw every lure you can imagine. So every fisherman's trying to figure out how to catch it, right? So I figured, okay, let me use my brain. Let me use my little old noggin here. Let's see if I can figure something out. All right, let's observe and see what the fish is doing, right? Okay, so you know, usually always got my polarized glasses. I got binoculars. All right, so next time I see Walter, let's try to observe instead of throwing lures at him and scare him, right? Okay, so this is what we do. Spot Walter. Let's see what Walter's doing. Let's leave him alone. Let's see what Walter's doing. I finally spotted what Walter was doing. Okay, he liked hanging out on top of the water, right? You see this huge silhouette. You know, what's he doing? He's eating bugs. All right, that's what he's doing. He's eating bugs. Not sure what kind of bugs, but you can see him eating bugs. So we gotta get a bug out to him, right? We gotta figure out a way to get a bug out to him, right? So go to the store, give me some flies that look like something that looks like a fly, something that looks like a mosquito, something that looks like a bee, and a woolly bugger. Woolly bugger looked cool, little hairy caterpillar. Man, that looks juicy. Maybe that'll work. So now I got my arsenal ready to go get Walter. But this is another situation. Sometimes you go fishing and you don't see Walter, right? So man, I went out there several times. I know more than 4 times and I did not see Walter. I'm here prepared. I don't see Walter. That's another reason why I lost the job, right? You know, you want to catch this fish, but you're calling in, then you go out there, you don't see the fish. What are you gonna do? And you want to catch that fish, and the only way you're gonna catch a big fish like that, I mean, is you got to go over there looking for him. That's it. It's just the way it is. Like, you know, you hear my videos, hey, you got to go find the fish. So okay, so finally, it came to the day that I saw Walter. Yes, I was prepared, okay, and I was ready. So I had a nice woolly bugger on there, right? And my setup was just about a 2.5-inch leader with a really tiny swivel, very light line, so I could get the lure out there. I saw Walter coming, right? So I try to get ahead of him, right? So I could run right into him, right? Boom. I could see Walter maybe 40 feet, right? So I throw out the lure, right? Get it out there and just wait. He's already getting close, right? So I try to make sure the woolly bugger is going to be right in front of his face. Not sure if he'll go for it, but let's hopefully he does, right? So here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. I give it a little tiny little jerk, so it could look like it's alive, right? Just give it a little jerk, boom. He sees it, it attracts him, he grabs it, boom, bam, set the hook, woo, rocket, missile, shoo, drag. Oh my gosh, takes off. I got a rocket hooked on my line. Drags is shooting. He's just shooting off like a rocket. I don't know how far he goes out, but he's just pulling drag. Amazing, just pulling drag. This fish is just. Oh my gosh! So adrenaline is pumping because right now, I know I have a legendary fish on my line. Right now you know what you got hooked, right? A lot of times you don't know what you got. Right now, I know what I got. I saw it. He hit it. He took off. My heart is pumping. Unbelievable. My heart is just because I know what I got. I right here, I could feel it right here. Boom, 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 boom. My heart is pounding. Man, I'm just like, oh, I got Walter on line, right? So then he starts to slow down a little bit, you know. Trying to bring him in. Guess what starts up? Head shakes. Head shakes. He doesn't jump out of the water, but you can see the head shakes as he's on top. Big fish, big head shakes. What happens to me? Now, you know, I'm scared. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. Heart's pumping. I'm like trying to do the best to keep him down. Trying to not get the head shakes. Trying not to force in the fish. At that point in time, I was like, you know, I could feel everything. I could feel, you know, my legs going weak. I could feel this pressure right here. I could feel my heart just pumping. But I got a legendary fish on the line. You got to think of everything you can do. Every scenario that you've done in the past and do the best that you can. But don't force in the fish. That was my do not force it. Let the fish do what he needs to do. Do not force the fish. The reason why I say a lot of my videos do not force in the fish is because there's a lot of things that can happen that I won't go into. But besides, you know, breaking the line or, you know, things like that, sometimes the fish is not completely hooked like in the jaw. It might just be barely hooked on a little bit of skin. So if you put too much pressure and you got the drag too tight, that'll pop off. That scenario has happened with me many times. When I'm bringing in a fish, you know, I got him close, and then I net him, and the lure just pops off. So that's, you know, one of those things you got to remember. Don't force in a fish, especially a big one. There's no reason to force in a fish. Take your time, and, you know, make sure you got a nice drag. You control the fish. You try to take over the situation. I know sometimes you do get excited like I was, but still, even though my heart was pumping, I had that pressure right here. And I'm telling you, it was an incredible feeling. You got a huge fish, a legendary fish. You want to land that fish, and you know, in your mind, all you want to do is get that fish in right, but you can't do that. And I know this ordeal of having Walter hooked on the line lasted from 10 to 15 minutes. That's a long time. That's a long time. So after the head shakes, then he gets closer to the shore. You're going back and forth, back and forth. You cannot force it. You cannot force the fishing. You cannot pull too hard. You can lose the fish. And I'm telling you, I had so much adrenaline. You know, I felt like I was gonna pass out. I really did feel like I was gonna pass out. Finally, he got a little tired. He gave me the opportunity to reach in and grab it with the net. Bam! I'm telling you, once that fish was in the net, wow! I'm telling you, I don't know what happened. I felt my energy go like that. That's how I felt, and I was like, oh, I felt like I was in another dimension. I had this huge legendary fish in my net, and I was, boom, sent to another dimension. my goodness. I was just like, oh, my legs felt like jello. They were shaking. I could feel them shaking. I could still feel the pressure right here pumping. I could feel my heart. Doom, 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 doom. I could feel my blood flowing. It was crazy. But I got that legendary fish in my net. And I worked hard for that fish. I lost my job for that fish. Man, I came fishing at least 3 times a week for that fish. Lost my job, but I got him. Now, I know there was probably, I don't know how many other people trying to get that fish. A lot. And that fish is probably ingrained in many other people's minds and brains. Because, you know, if it was in mine, there was a lot of fishermen. They were always talking about, you know, Walter. Hey, you know, Walter was seen over there. Walter was seen over there. This fish was probably seen by thousands of people for that I know of. 6 weeks. I don't know how much longer, but you know, it's incredible. So I got him in the net. First thing I do, hey, I gotta go weigh this fish. I gotta see how much Walter weighs. Took him up there. Man, just a tad over 13 pounds. 13-pound rainbow trout. About that thick. Bam. Oh my gosh. The legendary Walter. I caught him. I caught Walter. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Man, that was some serious adrenaline. Now you're probably thinking, okay, well, so why is he telling us the story? Yeah, he caught this big fish. Okay, so the story goes a little deeper than that. Okay, so here's the thing. There's many, well, you know what? Let's go thousands. Thousands of people that have probably seen Walter during the last 15 years and not know that they're looking at Walter. So that's why I'm bringing this to your attention. This whole thing brought back a lot of memories, and I know I probably should have made a video a long time ago about this, but I didn't. I don't know why, but this was brought to my attention right now. So man, I'm really excited. So I decided, hey, let's do some story time. Let's see if it works out. I've never done story time before. Let's do it. Okay, so you're probably thinking, well, what's he talking about? Okay, so this is the thing. If you have ever looked through the Fish Sniffer magazine or the Western Outdoor News magazine, most likely you've seen Walter in there in the last 15 years. Yes. So there's a lot of people that may remember Walter. So you probably saw Walter in the Fish Sniffer and the Western Outdoor News, and maybe more places. You just don't know it. It's a possibility that you've seen it online somewhere, other magazines. Los Vaqueros was using Walter as an advertisement to Los Vaqueros. Isn't that cool? Yes, for at least 15 years that I know of. Okay, so that's why I'm bringing this to the attention, because there's a possibility people might still remember Walter. They were looking at Walter during the last 15 years and didn't know it. So that's why I'm bringing it to the attention of YouTube. And I'm going to show you right now so you can actually see what I'm talking about, and you'll go, oh my goodness, I have seen this. And you're going to be like, whoa, oh my gosh, I have seen this. And now you can see the legendary Walter still here in front of you. One of the greatest memories of my life, one of the greatest adventures that I went through. Lost my job, but I was able to catch it, and you know, it's still around. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and then take a look at it for yourself, and you're going to get to see the legendary Walter. All right, this is my story time. I know it's gone a long time, but this is my story time for the day. Let me show you the legendary Walter. All right, woohoo! All right, here we go. So y'all have been listening to me for about 20 minutes talking about Walter. So here we go. Y'all are going to be surprised. Y'all been looking at Walter for about 15 years and didn't even know it. So here we go. Take a look. Take a look. There we go. The Los Vaqueros advertisement. And there we go. Yes, That is Walter right there. Check it out. The legendary Walter. And yes, that is I, the one who caught the legendary Walter. There we go. Beautiful fish. Look at that. So, this is an older advertisement. And yes, you can tell by the price of the boat there. Yeah, you won't see that ever again. But here we go. Let's take a look. There we go. Western Outdoor News, May 21st, 2010. There we go. Now we're going to take a look at a little more modern advertisement. And here we go. A little newer. There we go. And yes, that is the legendary Walter. Yes, right there. Amazing. Y'all been seeing this for years and years and years and did not know that that was Walter, huh? A little more modern advertisement. We can go up here and take a look. There you go. July 23rd, 2021, Western Outdoor News. Then also, Walter was also used for an advertisement. Here we go. For a charity trout derby. And you can see that, May 2010. And that's Walter right there. And this magazine is The Fish Sniffer. And there you go, you can take a look. May 2010. So there we go. There we go. The legendary Walter. Back again. Look at that. There we go. Y'all been looking at this for years and years and years and did not know that that was Walter. This is a cool story. My first story time. And there we go. Hope y'all liked it. Something new for me. And hope y'all enjoyed it because it's something new for me. I would like to do it again. I do have some interesting stories. And I hope y'all enjoyed my story time. All right. Take care, y'all, and catch you later. And like I always say, catch a big one. Catch a big one.